So this is a water park at one end of what is now called Gorky Park. What was in the 1930s called the Park of Rest and Culture. It was in front of the new Tretyakov Gallery. And this park at the time was like a large amusement park. There were also kindergarten classes here, and Canadian tourists would come to the Park of Rest and Culture. And it's one of the few places where they could freely wander around and interact with Muscovites. And unsurprisingly, what they usually found, since this was an amusement park, was that Muscovites were having a good time. They were enjoying themselves with their families, kids were having a good time. And here you could go in and see the kindergarten class, you could walk in unannounced, and there too, what they saw was that people in Moscow tended to have a lot of fun. This is a place called Monument Park. It's a graveyard of sorts of Soviet-era monuments. There are a lot of Lenins here. They've interspersed it in the rest of the park with more contemporary sculptures, also often more uplifting ones than these many Bolsheviks who can be found here. Not Trotsky, of course, because those ones were not left around. And this park is at one end of Gorky Park, and in the building right over here, which is obscured by the trees, is the new Tretyakov Gallery. And in that gallery you can see the absolute flowering of the avant-garde in Moscow from the beginning of the 20th century through the revolutionary period with futurism, suprematism, constructivism, and then in the 30s it all turns into giant bad paintings of Stalin, thanks to the dictates of socialist realism. Canadian tourists, when they would go on tours of galleries, what they were most often looking at were collections that featured a lot of European art. I don't have many accounts of them seeing contemporary Soviet art in galleries here.